There's no denying it. Peppa Pig is one of the most popular children's cartoons of all time. But did you know that even after more than 20 years on the air, with 7 seasons and over 300 episodes, there are still several hidden secrets involving some of the characters from the world's most famous little pink pig? Today, we're going to reveal a few of them. Rock Gazelles. Who are they? The biggest rock band in the Peppa Pig universe is undoubtedly the Rock Gazelles. And they've got some interesting secrets. We know that all the band members are gazelles, just like Gigi, who we know as the beloved Madame Gazelle. And everything suggests that the band members are actually her sisters. This becomes clear from the strong careers they've had, as we can see from the number of silver and gold records hanging on the walls where they live. Moreover, we learn that the drummer's name is Gretel, and the bassist is called Greta. These details reinforce the idea that Madame Gazelle's real name isn't Gigi, but rather a shortened form, which means that, like her sisters, her name likely starts with the letter G too. If this is true, perhaps Greta and Gretel are just stage names or nicknames, which would make it clear that we actually don't know who the 3 rock gazelles really are. This is just one of the unanswered secrets in Peppa Pig. So put on your golden boots and let's dive deeper into the magical world of Peppa Pig together. Rock gazelles, where do they live? Another curious detail we've noticed is that the rock gazelles seem to live somewhere with a lot of snow. This becomes clear in the episode Madame Gazelle's Farewell Party, where we can see that the area they're in is covered in snow, suggesting they don't live in the same town as Peppa. So, where do they live? Perhaps it's somewhere high up where it snows almost all year round, or maybe even in another country with a much colder climate. And that makes me wonder, could they live somewhere like Transylvania, the land of Count Dracula? Does it snow year-round there? Madame Gazelle's husband. Now let's discuss a very interesting mystery. In the episode where the pig family visits Madame Gazelle's house, many curious details are revealed. We discover that the teacher's house is so old that it's literally sinking. Additionally, when we take a closer look at the walls, we notice a black and white photograph on the wall near the fireplace. The picture appears to be of a gentleman from many years ago, leading us to believe that he was probably Madame Gazelle's husband a long time ago. Since we know that Madame Gazelle could be hundreds of years old, as we've discussed in a video where we prove she's a vampire, it makes sense that he passed away long ago. Now, I wonder, could this gentleman be a gazelle version of Count Dracula? It would make perfect sense, considering how much Madame Gazelle loves bats and how fondly she always speaks of her mysterious dark homeland. More than one Peppa. One of Peppa Pig's biggest secrets involves an official wallpaper from the show that was released a few years ago. In it, we can see the pig family standing outside their house. So far, so good, right? After all, the pig family consists of 4 members: Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, Peppa, and George. But there's a detail that catches everyone's attention and leaves people intrigued. When we look at the ground floor window, we can see a 3rd pig child peeking out at the family from inside the house. To this day, Peppa's creators have never provided an explanation for this, leaving fans wondering, is this child trapped inside the house? Could she be Peppa's twin, like in the story of the 3 little pigs? This mystery has never been solved, adding a dark tone to the show that many of us never imagined. Stick around until the end of the video to uncover more unsettling secrets about Peppa Pig. Character names. Have you ever noticed that while all the children have proper names, most of the parents are only known as Daddy or Mummy? But that doesn't mean they don't have real names. In the episode Valentine's Day Cards, we learn Daddy Pig's real name. When Mummy Pig reads the card Daddy Pig made for her, it's signed with his real name. In the original English version, we see that his name is Snufflekins.
Snufflekins. Oh.
While it may seem like just a nickname, this is, in fact, the real name of the pig family patriarch. It's clear that the name Daddy Pig is just an affectionate way for his children to address him, but now we know his true name. Even with so many characters and stories, the true star of Peppa Pig is undoubtedly Peppa herself. So, to show your love for this amazing series, comment PIG below. Different couples in Peppa Pig. Since we're talking about families in Peppa Pig, have you ever noticed that they all follow a certain pattern? We always see couples made up of characters from the same species, like Daddy and Mummy Pig or Daddy and Mummy Rabbit. This happens with every family shown in the series. However, if you've been paying close attention to the show, you might have realized that in the past, all the moms and dads went to the same school together, where they met, grew up, and eventually got married. What's curious here is that back then, there were multiple characters of the same species at the school. This is quite different from what we see now, where in Peppa's school, there's only one character of each species per age group. In the episode In the Future, when Peppa and her friend Susie Sheep are having a sleepover at Susie's house, they start imagining the future. In this daydream, the two of them say they're either going to marry Pedro Pony or Danny Dog.
And I will marry Pedro. Or Danny. And I'll do that too.
This gives us a hint that, in the future, we might see couples made up of characters from different species, like Peppa and Pedro, or Susie and Danny, unless new characters of the same species are introduced into the series, which hasn't happened in Peppa Pig's 20-year history. Auntie Dottie, another pig family secret. After uncovering the secret of Daddy Pig's name, another character whose name is also revealed in the series is Auntie Dottie. Very few adults in the series have their names mentioned, and she's an exception. In the episode Rocking Horse, Auntie Dottie sends a rocking horse as a gift for Peppa and George to enjoy. It's likely that Dottie is short for Dorothy. In another episode, we can see a picture of Auntie Dottie in Grandpa Pig's library. This suggests that the pig family is even bigger than we thought, since we also see a little piglet in the photo, which hints that Peppa and George might have an uncle on their mother's side whom we haven't met yet. Madame Gazelle, the name mystery revealed. Aside from Daddy Pig and Auntie Dottie, another character whose real name is revealed is Madame Gazelle. Contrary to what many people think, Madame Gazelle isn't her real name. It's just the way she's addressed. In the episode Madame Gazelle's Farewell Party, we finally get to discover her real name. When Daddy Pig calls Madame Gazelle's sisters, who are part of the Rock Gazelles band, one of them refers to her as Gigi. This suggests that Gigi is the real name of the children's teacher. But is Gigi her full name? Or could it be just a nickname? Perhaps her real name is made up of the initials GG, with the second G standing for Gazelle and the first G being the initial of her real first name. This is still a secret we hope to uncover at some point in the series. If you love discovering more behind-the-scenes secrets and hidden mysteries about your favorite cartoons and animated movies, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any of our upcoming videos, full of more secrets, mysteries, and fun facts. Mummy Rabbit and Miss Rabbit. Are they twins? Speaking of intriguing characters, many people don't realize that there are actually two twin sisters in Peppa Pig. One of them is the famous Miss Rabbit, the character with the most jobs in the entire town. She's been seen doing over 90 different jobs throughout the series, but many people get confused and think Miss Rabbit is Rebecca Rabbit's mom, when in fact, she's Rebecca's aunt. That's right, the multitasking Miss Rabbit is actually the twin sister of Mummy Rabbit. This confusion is cleared up in the episode Mummy Rabbit's Bump, where the two appear together at the hospital. While Miss Rabbit works as a nurse, Mummy Rabbit is there to give birth to twins. How many rabbit sisters are there? But could there be even more rabbit sisters? We know that Mummy Rabbit and Daddy Rabbit have 4 children: Rebecca, Richard, and the twins, Rose and Rob. But what about Miss Rabbit's sisters? When the pig family goes to France, they meet a character who is identical to Miss Rabbit. This rabbit, who introduces herself as Mademoiselle Lapin, which means Miss Rabbit in French, also works multiple jobs, just like the English version. She flies helicopters and even sells souvenirs, making us wonder, are all these rabbit sisters? Rabbits around the world. But the story of the Rabbit Sisters doesn't end there. When Peppa and her family travel to Hollywood after winning a golden ticket to the Super Potato movie, they land in New York. And guess who's flying the plane? Of course, it's Miss Rabbit. But that's not all. When they arrive in New York, they meet another Miss Rabbit, but this time, she's American. This new version of Miss Rabbit works as a taxi driver, elevator operator, and even an ice cream vendor. As the pig family continues their trip, they encounter several more versions of Miss Rabbit all around the world. This raises a big question. Are all these rabbit sisters scattered around the world, or is each one just a local version of a single Miss Rabbit? Either way, we can imagine that Rebecca Rabbit might follow this path of many jobs when she grows up. Now, take a look at the 2 videos on your screen. If you enjoy secrets and fun facts like these, you won't want to miss them. I've heard the video on the left is really good. Definitely worth checking out.